And welcome to the 5 Ways to Pack It All webinar with Cruiser Customizing and Saddlemen. We appreciate you guys taking time out of your Sunday evening to sit down with us and talk about luggage, motorcycling, and essentially how we make the ride a better ride. Go back over. So once again, this is with Saddlemen and Cruiser Customizing. Saddlemen is really the king when it comes to innovative design, quality, form, and function. We appreciate Saddlemen coming on board and walking us through this. So today on the call, you're going to have a couple of us right off the bat. In the screen currently, we've got Meet the Presenters. At the very bottom of each corner, that's Jerry. Jerry's in Sturgis right now setting up, so he's on a pretty shoddy internet connection. So he's going to be in and out as his internet lets him. Hey, Jerry, are you there? I would say he's not at the moment. The gentleman in the large picture off to the left, your left, is going to be Avery. Avery's on the line with us. Avery's been with Saddlemen for quite a long time and handles a lot of the R&D. Avery, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, thank you, Kyle. This is Avery Innes. I'm the technical director at Saddlemen. Obviously, I oversee the technical functions of our company, but most importantly, I have the joy of helping develop new product, which includes luggage. That's part of the things that we do in the United States.
Excellent. Thank you, Avery. In the center there, between myself and Avery, is Ron Bettenfield. Ron is currently on the road on his way to Sturgis, and he's just about to pull into Salt Lake City. He's a little behind schedule, so if he can jump in sometime throughout the webinar, we believe he will. You will then get an opportunity to meet Ron. And I'm there on the right-hand side. I've been here with Cruiser Customizing for just over 10 years, and really I thrive on teaching people things or informing them or letting them learn new stuff so that their ride can be enhanced. So really quick, we're going to have some poll questions throughout this event, and on behind the scenes, I don't have a picture of her up here, but is Carissa. Carissa's running basically background for us. She's taking care of everything that's going on behind the scenes. Carissa, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, my name's Carissa. I've been with Cruiser Customizing for a couple of years now. I'm super excited because I just got a CB750. And yes. If you guys have any problems at all concerning your audio, please hit me up in the chat pane. You can send it to all or you can send it to Cruiser Customizing. I'm here kind of standing by. At the end of the webinar, once we get to the question and answer session, just raise your hand if you have audio and you'd like to go live with Saddlemen. If you don't, let me know if you have no mic, and then just type out your question and we can get that asked as well. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Carissa. So to begin this, Carissa's going to be popping polls for us throughout this webinar. Carissa, can you pop the poll real quick that asks people what they ride so we can get an idea of who we're talking to, who the audience is, and we can do some catering to that?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So what's going to happen is Chris is going to pop a poll that looks something like this, probably 4 times throughout this webinar. This one here obviously asks what you ride. And then you select the following, and then after just a minute or two, we're going to look at the answers to those polls and see kind of where we all sit. So right now, if you can go ahead and select what you ride, we'll go ahead and get on with this thing.
All right, they're still answering, so I don't want to close it yet.
So Avery, I got a question for you. Roughly what percentages, as far as Saddlemen's consumers, what percentages do you have as far as this list goes here in front of us, as far as the products you guys offer?
Well, it's pretty interesting. For many years, we were predominantly a Goldwing and a Harley accessory company, and then as the market evolved, so did our company. So right now, our offerings tend to match what the marketplace actually is. So for many, many years, a good example was our leading seat was a seat for Harley-Davidson baggers, and now our leading seat model is actually for a R1200 GS, which coincidentally is the #1 selling bike in the world. So our products are actually starting to match market share and number of units in the market. So there's a little bit more metric purchasing that we're seeing. A lot of our stuff is universal, especially on the luggage side. But you still see more American brand riders buy accessories than some of the others, but the balance does match the industry.
Awesome. Now the results you saw there on that poll that Carissa showed us are pretty indicative to our consumer base. We're pretty much a 60-40 with a small sprinkling of Victory, Triumph, and Goldwing in there, so that's pretty much the case. So moving on, we want to take a look and see, so now that we know that the majority of your ride metric, the next batch is Harley-Davidson, we kind of know where to put our eggs in which baskets. Chris, if you could pop the next question, please, which is lay of the land. So we're kind of curious, do you guys out there currently use luggage? And if you do, what do you use it for? So Chris is going to go ahead and get that one up there for us. We got grocery store runs, commuting, carrying your school bucks, things of that nature. Either day trips or weekend trips, not really long trips, but just short trips. Long distance touring, and I don't use luggage. And that's kind of an interesting thing. So for the first several years that I rode motorcycles, probably from when I was 15 to probably 20-something, I used a backpack, and that was pretty much the sole means of luggage that I carried with me. But over the years, it's been quite a significant change as I've traveled across the country a couple times on motorcycle, definitely done lots of 2-3 month-long trips. Being able to take with you what you need is really a key asset to motorcycling. All right, how about you, Carissa? All right, looks like 45%. So half of you guys are taking day trips, weekend trips. A quarter of you are doing long distance touring, and the rest is sprinkled around. Awesome. Thanks, Carissa. All right. So today we're going to be talking about the history of Saddlemen seats. We're going to give you an overview of a couple of their key seats, because what good is tons of luggage and being able to store things and ride long distances if your ass isn't going to allow you to do so? Luggage accessories, and then we're going to have a giveaway, and then Q&A, which is absolutely my favorite part. So who is Saddlemen Seats? Essentially, Saddlemen is a group of guys who are enthusiasts that are experts when it comes to seats and luggage. Avery, can you jump in real quick and give us a quick history there?
Yeah, Saddlemen was founded over 25 years ago, about 27 years ago. One of the initial principals is Mr. Tom Seymour, who is still with the company as our chairman. And a few years down the road, that company which he had, which was Travelcade, primarily a Goldwing seat company, merged with another company called Saddlemen, which did a lot of other seats and luggage, and that was Mr. David Eckert. And Mr. Eckert is still with the company as the president, actually. And as the years have gone by, the company has been able to diversify itself, not only in its United States, but international operations, where we make seats and luggage under the Saddlemen brand, but we're also very accomplished. We are one of the leading suppliers to OEMs for accessories. So very often when you purchase a motorcycle and you buy that company's aftermarket seat or luggage, you're getting a Saddlemen product. So having that connection to those manufacturers and other people in the industry help us tremendously. So when you get a Saddlemen product, there's a lot of engineering and technology behind the product itself. It's not something that just looks good. There's some keen engineering behind it.
Awesome. Thank you, Avery. So as Avery said, they make seats, saddle gel pads, luggage, organizers. They make all kinds of things for the motorcyclist in order to make that ride a better ride. Now, who do they cater to? We talked a little bit about this earlier, where Avery basically suggested that they're being more and more diverse every day. So Harley-Davidson, Metric Cruiser, Goldwing, Adventure, Dual Sport, Sport Touring, they got sport seat applications. So just, was it last year or 2 years ago that you guys were the leading seat there for MotoGP?
About 2 years ago, where we started doing more and more seats for road racing. We've always been heavily involved in probably this country's leading supporter of flat track. Mm-hmm. But about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, we extended that support to road racing in the United States. As a matter of fact, we've even helped some people in Europe, and we are the official seat of AMA Pro Racing, and it's not just road racing or flat track, but all of AMA Pro Racing. And you'll see a tremendous number of people at AMA road race events on the seats. Michael Jordan's team runs the seats, a number of other people run the seats, and what's really great about that is that feedback goes right into our sport bike seat line, and we have over 100 applications for sport bike seats. It's something that people are still surprised to hear that we do, but it's a strong growing part of our business.
Fantastic. Chris, can you pop this one, please? I know we got a lot of questions here before we get into the meat and potatoes of this event, but we really need to figure out kind of what we're talking and who we're talking about. How long or how far do you ride before you pack a bag? Less than an hour? Half a day or more? 100 miles or more? I'm always packed, or I don't pack anything. So Avery, if you were going to answer this question, what would be your answer?
I never leave without a bag. I am, as you know, I've been in the industry a very long time, and I'm a enthusiast. So on all my bikes, I have some type of pack or something where I carry not only rudimentary tools, but I always make sure that I can fix a flat. I'll have some extra levers. So my everyday driver is a Triumph Explorer adventure bike, and I have one of Saddlemen's adventure packs on the rear rack, and I keep all the stuff to fix tires and things like that, and my rain suit in it. So the bike literally does not roll out of the driveway without that pack being on it.
Excellent. Yeah, and I have to mirror Avery's comment on that. Most every time I leave the garage, I've got some sort of tool pack with me, some tire repair stuff, and usually some power bars, a water bottle, things of that nature. That way, in case of an event, we're covered. All right, Chris is going to pop our answers. Let's see, we have 100 miles or more and a half a day or more, and I'm always packed. Probably the three top there, which is really interesting. All right, Chris, if we could get back to the slideshow, it'd be fantastic. Thank you. So we're going to talk about luggage today, but before we do that, let's roll really quick through just a couple of styles of Saddlemen seats so you guys can get an idea for what complementary items they've got here, because it doesn't matter how much you can take with you. If your ass can't go the distance, then the amount of luggage really doesn't help. So take a quick look. So saddle gel is really what separates Saddlemen seats apart from any other seat on the market. Now, Avery, if you could give us a really quick breakdown on saddle gel itself as I'm rolling through each of the different styles of seats, that would be awesome.
Well, the saddle gel, the gel that we have now has evolved over the last 20 years. It originally started as a gel that was used in the medical industry to support patients who were stationary so they wouldn't get bed sores and whatnot. And over the years, we have developed our own formulation of the gel. It's something nobody else has. And our gel is designed so about 1 inch of gel will give you about the same suspension as 3 inches of foam. But gel is more than that. It's almost like a fluid. It can't compress, so it'll always maintain some suspension. But the gel also acts like a vibration damper. So vibration is kind of quelled with the gel, things like that. It helps dissipate the weight, the load. If you design the seat right with gel, you can't just throw gel in the seat like some of our competitors have tried in the past. But if you design the seat around the gel, it'll work pretty good.
Awesome. Thank you, Avery. So they do seats for Harley-Davidson, for Metric. This is the new Adventure Track line they launched about 18 months ago or so. Sport bike seats we talked about. And then if you have a vintage motorcycle that you can't find anything for, you can actually send them your seat pan, and they will definitely accommodate you. And once, like Avery said, they've been doing this for over 25 years. Now let's dive into types of luggage and kind of what you can do with those. So really, there are several different kinds of luggage, and Chris is going to pop another question here to find out what you're currently riding with. Whether you're riding with saddlebags, Sissy Bar Bag, combination of those, maybe a back seat bag, trunk or top case, or don't use luggage at all. Avery, when you roll out, I know it kind of depends on which bike you're riding, but what's your preference as far as the types of luggage you take with you?
Well, it differs. As you know, I also have a bagger. So, and like on the bagger, it has the standard Harley-Davidson saddlebags, but I make sure those are set up with some of our liners so I can take my cargo in and out real easy when the wife and I get to the hotel. And then on, I have a Hayabusa, and I use one of our tunnel tail bags on the back of that. And what's really nice about that is it clips on and off in a second. And once again, you just carry it into your location. I really like the stuff that allows you to get your gear in and out of the bike fast, and we have a lot of solutions that take care of that.
Excellent, thank you. And the results are pretty indicative to what I was imagining. Saddlebags and Sissy Bar Bags are really the biggest pieces out there as far as our demographic between the Harley-Davidson and the Metro Cruiser guys. All right, Chris, if you could give us back, that'd be awesome. Thank you, ma'am. So, perfecting luggage for almost 10 years. They do make all of these types of luggage. Saddlebags, Sissy Bar bags, seat bags, tail and tunnel bags like Avery just talked about, rack and trunk bags, bagger, lid, and chap bags. So we want to take a walk through some of these today. This is the first section we'll talk about is saddlebags, as it is the absolute most accessorized piece. It's the most popular piece that people put on Harley-Davidson and Metro Cruisers in order to carry things with them. Saddlemen's done a really good job at taking these lines and really expanding them out. So you'll see the Express series on the screen, the Cruise and Deluxe, which is a newer type of series for them, the Highwayman series, Tattoo, Midnight Express, and the Rigid series. Now the Rigid series is pretty unique. If you search on either Saddlemen's website or ours by your bike model, you can find Rigid series bags that are pretty much hard mount, catered to your specific shock location and fender strut location. So it's really a bolt-on application that gives you a plug-and-play type setup. As far as saddlebags go, Avery, what can you tell us about your line of bags here?
Well, you were starting to mention the Rigid series, and we also have the specific fit teardrop, which are kind of like a brother and sister to the Rigid series. And what's really great about those is we've been able to design a support system that allows you to attach those bags very safely and a clean installation to your bike. And in fact, you can get quick release, what we call S4, quick release hardware with those supports, and those saddlebags can come on and off very quickly. But on most of the Rigid ones, they just include bolts. But using supports, I need to mention this, but using supports, whether it's on the specific fit stuff that is absolutely designed for your particular bike, or some of the stuff like the Cruise and Deluxe series of bags have supports that have been designed where you can use them on a variety of things. It comes with a good selection of both metric and SA hardware. But back to my point is, supports are very, very important. You don't want to have your saddlebag follow up any of your brakes in the back, your chain or your belt or anything like that. You have to use a proper set of supports when you use saddlebags, even some type of fabric throw-over bag. So we have a number of different supports. You'll see some things coming out this fall from us where we even expand the type of supports that we have. You'll see more in the sport bike line. But when you take a look at everything we have, there's always supports that are available to make sure you have a safe, clean installation.
And that's key. Being safe is absolutely important, and making sure you have a saddlebag bracket to keep that bag from interfering with moving parts and components is absolutely key. So let's move forward. This is an example of what you're going to see in say the Cruise and Deluxe line of luggage. You can see here there's saddlebags, there's the tri-pouch for the baggers, you've got pouches that mount to the rear saddlebag guards that give you some storage space there, fork bags, tank bags, They've taken, as you see, everything here is matched, and that's really the key. In each of these lines, you can find matched merchandise that will allow you to stylize, if you will, or theme your motorcycle around the luggage. It's pretty cool. Sissy Bar Bags are another big ticket item, something that lots of people put on their motorcycle, whether they're using it as, say, a back seat bag strapped to the Sissy Bar, or whether they're hanging it off the luggage rack. What are some of the key takeaways you'd like to talk to us today, Avery, about your Sissy Bar Bags and what makes them unique from others on the market?
Well, one of the things that's great about the Sissy Bar Bags is we have set them up so you mount them directly to a Sissy Bar and or a rack that you have on your bike. And we have a really neat adjustable sleeve system where we use a pair of high-tensile nylon rods that allow you to set not just the width, but even the taper of a Sissy Bar pad or even a plain Sissy Bar, so that bag will stay nice and secure on the Sissy Bar itself. And then we also include things, something that we developed with our BR3400. We have another device called the Versa Mount, which is a universal mount that you can put underneath the pillion or the rear portion of the seat and attach a lot of these bags directly to the seat if you don't have a Sissy Bar or rack. When you look through the listings at Cruiser Customizing for Saddlemen products, you can see which ones are best suited to use with a rack or can be used with a Versa mount. And some of the bags, like the BR3400 and the BR1800 that I just spoke about, come with the Versa mount, so you get that great variation of mounting right there with the bag. You can't go really wrong with a BR3400 almost on any kind of bike you have.
Yeah, we'll be looking at that here in just a second, but that is a fantastic bag that can be used with or without a Sissy Bar. And that's really what Avery just got done talking about, is this piece right here. In the center, you're going to see a large bag, and then there's going to be that mounting system, which is the Versa mount, that's going to go underneath the seat. I think I have a picture of that somewhere in here when I talk about the videos. But those straps then will attach around whatever attaching point you want, and then or around the D-rings on the bag, I should say, and then we'll go down and clip into those 4 clips, which keep this thing extremely stable on the rear seat. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen Jerry McFall, one of our employees. He has a V-Star 1300 that we've mounted this thing on. He's taken trips across the country on it and absolutely loves this thing. Lots and lots of room inside the VR line of the luggage, and just the way they attach make it really simple for those that don't really care to ride with a Sissy Bar.
Yep. One of my favorite features of that thing is the laptop sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you know, Kyle and I were kind of computer geeks and motorcycle geeks at the same time, and when we go on trips, we want to be connected, so we can take our laptops with us safely.
Yeah, safely is definitely a key. Mm-hmm. So in their line of luggage, they've also got a provision for taking your furried friend along with you. The Pet Voyager launched about 2 years ago, I believe, and it's provided a great way for people to take their pets along with them. We've got an interesting video on our YouTube channel with Ron walking us around the different features and benefits of the Pet Voyager. So make sure you take a look at that if you've got a furry friend that you'd like to take with you. Now, Harley-Davidson chaps and bags. In this particular image, you're going to see Saddlemen luggage up on top of the bagger there in the all-the-way left-hand picture. You're going to see fender bibs. You're going to see a tank bib. You're going to see chaps on both the trunk as well as the saddlebag, and then of these awesome bags that sit on top of the saddlebags to give you just that much more extra storage. When you guys are doing the research on the Harley-Davidson stuff that we're looking at here, Avery, what were some of the ideas you guys had in mind?
Well, most of us have wives, and they like to take a lot of stuff with them. And frankly, when you have 2 folks go on the road for 2-3 weeks at a time, you need a lot of gear. And for example, when my wife and I tour, in the bags that we put on our saddlebag lids, that's where we put things that we need to get at quick, like our rain suits and things like that. And that way it doesn't follow up the other stuff that we have in the bags. But one of we because we ride ourselves and we have a lot of friends that tour, we're able to ask them, hey, you know, what can you use that'll make your trip better and things like that. And that's where we came up with a lot of the chaps. They help protect things. In fact, coming this fall from us, we have fairing bras and additional chaps to protect fairings on a number of bikes. So a lot of care and thought went into things that just help you on long trips.
Fantastic. Thank you, Avery.
Mm-hmm.
As we showed you in an earlier picture, this is the windshield, 3-pocket windshield bag, which is very, very unique. Almost every windshield bag out there actually bolts to the motorcycle, so you can't remove it. I mean, it's a fixture of the bike, and it just stays there all the time. I saw this. I was down at Saddlemen early this year, January, February timeframe, and Jerry was showing me this on his motorcycle action, how these things snap off. So you could legitimately, you could take it with you. If you got a GPS mounted in it, you just take that off, take it in wherever you had stopped. You don't have to worry about it sitting on the front of your bike or emptying all those pockets out, so nothing gets stolen. What brought this idea about, Avery?
Well, originally we did that because both Harley-Davidson and a couple other companies mount the GPS in that area, and when you mount the GPS up in that area, it's great for seeing it. It's kind of a line of sight thing, but it precludes your ability to have the windshield bag up there. So we initially designed it so you could just pop that pocket off and then have room for the GPS. But what we actually discovered was a lot of riders would put, their extra glasses or their wallet or something like that in there. Then they would pop that on and off when they go in and out of the restaurant or something. So it's interesting. We thought of one thing, and it ended up being a wider application than we thought.
That's awesome. Sport luggage. So this isn't really a big piece of our demographic, so if we could keep this to a minimum, that would be awesome. But we know that lots of you guys out there have sons or family members that ride sport, and just to get an idea of kind of what Saddlemen has to offer for the sport guys, Avery, can you give us a summary here, please?
Yeah, the tunnel tail bag was designed to fit snugly over the pillion seat on most sport bikes. But actually, when you look at the bag, and we have it in two different widths, for a fairly thin or a fairly narrow pillion or a wider one, we discovered there's a lot of guys that really like these for cruisers. They have a kind of a neat tapered shape to them. They're nice and spacious, and they go on and off with cam lock straps. But for example, these things work beautifully on the back of VT 1300 Furies.
Yeah,
bikes like that.
I've also seen a bunch of guys on the M109 forum running these that really love them as well.
Yeah, and that would match that bike's aggressive styling really well. So they're not just a sport bike bag. These are really well-rounded bags. Dual sport guys use these bags as well.
Ooh, there's an idea I haven't thought of yet. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Hard case and trunks. Now, we don't do a whole lot with this with you guys. I don't know if whether it's a fitment issue or whether it's what it is, but it's a really neat idea. Very similar to, say, a GB type trunk. What are the applications on this one, Avery?
Well, it's a universal application. It comes with a mounting plate that you can attach with some simple included hardware, so you can put it on the rear rack of your bike, or you can see in this case there's a scooter there, and then there's two different sizes, and both one will accommodate a helmet. But what's really nice is price point compared to something like a Givi, it's literally half the price. And what we're doing is coming out, and I've unfortunately mentioned a few times things that are coming out this fall, but we are going to make just the mounting plate available as an optional item this coming year, because a lot of people say, hey, I've got the trunk, but I got 3 bikes, so can I get the plate so I can move my trunk from bike to bike? So we're going to even do that.
That's a great idea.
I'm surprised I see a lot of guys use these on their dual sports. So in fact, we just recently got something from a guy who took a KLR up to Nome and back with one of these trunks on the back. So people use them in just a variety of ways.
Fantastic. The tank bags and tank pouches, there's lots of different varieties out there. The one on the very far left is going to be the E-Pack from Saddlemen. The E-Pack launched just last year, and it is the perfect accessory to be able to put, say, your iPhone or your GPS or anything that you need handy right in front of you on the motorcycle. It works phenomenally. Saddlebag and trunk organizers. So this is interesting. So I broke this into two different sections. We've got the saddlebag and trunk organizers here on this slide, and then on the next one we're going to talk a little about trunk liners and organizers. Definitely two different animals. The organizer itself is going to go into the lid of your tour pack, your trunk, your saddlebag, and the liners are going to be what's going to go inside of the actual piece itself. Now, a really neat thing personally, in my Goldwing I've got these all the way around. In the top of the saddlebag, or especially on the Goldwing, on the side of the saddlebag and especially in the top of the trunk lid, that space was like dead space, unusable, because how often do you have that thing packed so full that you don't have a couple of inches or so, say, above your main bag that's in there, your main the items that you're carrying. These top lid organizers are extremely handy, and carrying a bunch of stuff that you normally keep in the motorcycle, but it allows you to be able to pack those and store those away so that you don't have to empty your saddlebag and then load it with the stuff you want to take and then set this stuff on top. They're super, super handy.
Yeah, I use mine a lot just to make sure I always know where my flashlight and tire pressure gauge are.
Yeah, for myself, I've got some tire stuff, like an air pressure gauge. I've got a flashlight. I've got business cards, all kinds of stuff like that. We keep some wet wipes in there just in case there are emergencies out there on the road or on the trail. But extremely handy in being able to have stuff accessible and always knowing where it's at instead of just rolling around in the bottom of the saddlebag. So if you got any of the bikes that these fit, I definitely recommend taking a look because they're definitely lifesavers. Now, what I didn't get a good picture of for this particular slideshow when it comes to the trunk and saddlebag organizers or liners would be the cube setup. If you take a look at the video that I put together and is currently on YouTube for this week's Tip of the Week launched yesterday, I've got some really good explanations of the cube liners, some photos there showing you exactly how they work. Can you give us a quick discussion or explanation on the cube liners, Avery, and what the idea there was?
Well, the idea behind the cube liners, and one of the best applications is for the Harley Davidsons with the FLH style bags, and we also have them for like the switchback. But those bags, they allow you to stack them together to fill up the full size of the saddlebag. And what we did is we have a couple different ones that even have like translucent or clear tops, and a lot of the gals like that because then they can see their makeup or whatever they put into them. But you may not need to take everything in at each stop. Maybe you only need the clothes for that night or something like that. So having the cube system allows you to kind of choose what you're going to take in. In fact, we have one cube, I just saw it there on the screen, that is sized so you can put the I believe it's I can't remember the name of it, the Riga or the Riva. There's an accessory gas can that allows you to carry extra gas in the saddlebag of your FLH style saddlebag, and it works really well taking up that room with an unusual size. So it's kind of like a build them tinker toy type storage system. Allows you to build it the way you need it.
Awesome, thank you, Avery.
Mm-hmm.
So moving back, so liners there. If you watch the video they created, there are liners not only for the Harley Davidsons and not only for the Goldwings, but they make these liners in lots of different shapes. For example, They make a slant style bag in a small, medium, and a large. They make a teardrop bag in a small and large. So no matter what size your saddlebag is, no matter what you got going on, Saddlemen has got a trunk or a saddlebag liner that's going to work for your application. It's just a matter of taking a look at what is out there and sizing up your bags and seeing what works perfectly. In the picture up here, the upper left-hand corner, I included this one specifically for the trike riders. The Harley-Davidson trike, that dual set there fits perfectly in the trunk of the trike in that back compartment, and allows you to pack basically his and hers bag with whatever you need, and they fit absolutely perfectly. Waterproof packs. Now these are kind of exciting. This is what we're giving away as the special thank you for attending the webinar. We'll go into that in just a few minutes, but this is a brand new item this year. Can you walk us through this one, Avery?
Yes, the waterproof packs, we developed these as part of a program where we've seen other people do waterproof things and rubberized luggage, and we're going to be doing some other things in that vein, but we wanted to get our feet wet, so to speak, and we wanted to do something with motorcyclists in mind. So we have a few of these packs are what we call lanyard packs, and they are designed to keep smaller items like your phone and your wallet clean, and it's something that you can have under your riding gear, under your jacket, and literally around your neck or around your waist or something like that. And they have a double sealing edge where you actually seal it almost like a Ziploc bag, but then it folds over again, and the material itself is very, very heavy duty. I mean, it's stuff you could drive over with a truck and you wouldn't hurt it. And then as the sizes go up, you can protect a variety of things. We have them sized that they'll protect like a Google-sized tablet, an iPad, and then eventually even a laptop. So pay attention to the sizes when you look in the Cruiser Customizing catalogs and stuff, and you can see what'll work for you. But they do a fantastic job of protecting not just from water, but from dirt and dust and all that other stuff. They're great anti-element devices.
Fantastic. And like I said, we're giving away these packs for the attendees of the webinar. We got the small, the medium, and the large, so stay tuned for that. The Destination Pack. This is one thing that most people have never heard of before. It's been out for almost 2 years now and is a phenomenal device. Essentially what you have here is you have a bag that will fit your helmet, your jacket, whatever else you have on your person, and then strap that to your motorcycle and hang it from your handlebar or wherever you'd like to hang it from. As you can see down there in the picture on the right-hand side, or the right-hand side of the image, you've got this bag that's hanging there in front of the motor. Down there at the bottom there's a lock. So this thing actually locks closed and then locks to your motorcycle. Now the opening of the bag is actually facing downward, and that's done in order to keep this thing waterproof, so water can't go into the top and then of course flood the bag. What were some of the key things you built into this bag, Avery, when you guys created this?
Well, we used a stainless steel cage. There's a heavy-duty kind of felt style liner on the inside, because gosh forbid if you have a really nice $800 helmet, you don't want to mar the finish up on it, or a nice shield for that matter. So the inner liner is very, very plush, and then between the inner and the outer liner is this stainless steel cage, and it's almost impossible to cut this thing. I mean, you'll wreck a set of diagonal pliers trying to cut it. And then the outer thing is a waterproof polyester cover, and we have it set up where at the bottom, when you wrap the lanyard, which is another stainless steel cord around the bottom and seal it, there's a special proprietary latch mechanism we have that the padlock goes through. And then another thing is that stainless steel cable, you can route it through your front wheel or something like that and add another level of security. But it's mainly intended so somebody just can't grab the bag. and start to walk away from your motorcycle with the helmet in. And we've all gone to the races or whatnot, and it's like, geez, where do I put my helmet? I don't want to lug this thing around with me. Well, now you can put your helmet in the bag. The bag's got a Velcro strap system on the top where you can hang it from the handlebars. You know, you can move it away from the hot engine and stuff like that. And then, you know, you have some reasonably decent security for your helmet or your jacket while you're watching the races.
Yeah, it's an absolutely phenomenal device. Been out for about 2 years now. If you haven't seen it before, take a look at the videos online. This is an absolutely neat piece in order to keep the stuff that you ride to an event safe while you're walking about the event. So 5 ways to pack it all today. We've covered saddlebags, Sissy Bar Bags, seat bags, cube liners, lid organizers. There are definitely more than 5, but these are the 5 top ways that people can pack their stuff effectively and safely when hitting the road. So now there's a 24-hour special offer that we're going to have. If you purchase any Saddlemen product, you will receive a free Saddlemen waterproof pack. This is up to a $39 value. And on orders $199 or more, you will receive a $30 Cruiser Customizing gift certificate if you use the promo code SDL24. SDL short for Saddlemen, and 24 as in it's a 24-hour special. So SDL24, here are the waterproof packs. There's 3 different packs that we're going to be giving away. If your order is $99, you're going to get 1 pack. If it's $150, you get 2 packs, and if it's $199 or more, you get 3 packs and a $30 gift certificate. Pretty awesome. Once again, SDL24 is the coupon code to use. Now, Saddlemen has offered for this webinar a $300 shopping spree for somebody who is in attendance. We've got about 100 of you guys out there right now. Carissa is going to be drawing the name for the lucky winner. You ready for this event, Carissa?
Yep, I've already drawn it.
All right, drum roll.
And our winner is Bruce Kilby. Bruce
Awesome.
Kilby. All right, I'm going to unmute you, Bruce Kilby, if you're there. Say hello.
Bruce, you there?
Bruce, you there?
I am.
Great,
Congratulations, Bruce.
Congratulations,
Thank you so
Bruce.
much. It's awesome.
So you just won $300 shopping spree for Saddlemen, whether it be a seat, luggage, whatever you want. What have you been eyeing out there?
That is fantastic. I already know one product's definitely going to be one of those gel cushions.
Nice, nice. What are you riding out there?
Kawasaki 900 LT.
Beautiful, nice bike.
Yeah, we make a beautiful seat for that thing, too.
Well, I've got a great seat on it, but I'm pretty sure that gel pad will make it even better.
There you go.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks for joining us today. Really, really appreciate it. Before we get off the line and Carissa gets your contact information, did you have any questions for us before we roll into that Q&A section?
No, I'm all set. Thank you again for putting these on.
Awesome. So yeah, Chris is going to take your information. And in addition to that, if you could shoot me an email to kyle@cruisercustomizing.com with that information, we'll make sure we get you set up with that $300 shopping discount.
Great. Thanks again.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. So moving on, it's now time to get to the question and answer section. Absolutely my favorite part of this. We really encourage you to raise your hand. So there's a little hand button there that you can click. Go ahead and click the hand button, and Carissa will unmute your mic, and you'll have an opportunity to speak with us live, ask your question, and we will give you the answers to the best of our abilities. If you don't have a mic on your computer, or you want to go ahead and type it instead of speak it, you can go ahead and do that as well. It looks like our buddy Ron has now joined us. Hey, Ron, you out there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can. How was your drive to Salt Lake City today?
It was 12 hours, door to door.
Sounds fantastic. So we just gave away the shopping spree. We've had a pretty good walkthrough today of the Saddlemen products, and we're just about ready to jump into Q&A. So welcome to that adventure.
Cool.
All right. So once again, you can go ahead and raise your hand, and Carissa will unmute your mic, or you can ask a question to Carissa in the comment box. And here we go.
All right, our first question comes from John Lewis. John, are you there?
Yes.
Hey, John, welcome to the webinar. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot. My question is, I have the large Saddlemen Sissy Bar pack. I really like using that thing, especially if I'm riding solo. I reverse it and use it as a backrest as well.
Nice.
But when I put it on the Sissy Bar, on the luggage rack, the bag's so large that it overhangs the luggage rack by probably 2 to 3 inches on 3 sides and kind of droops over it. And, you know, I'm a little concerned about in time wearing the bag out by, you know, it flexing so much. I've seen some guys cut pieces of plywood and such and cram underneath there. But I just wonder if you guys make anything or if you have already got a fix to for support on the bottom of the bag.
It is something that we've considered in the past, some literal, like a platform extender for some of the racks. Unfortunately, there's such a wide variety of racks, we kind of stopped with it because we weren't quite sure what to do. But we have seen some guys use some thick plastic and some aluminum pieces as well. But probably the best thing to realize is that the plastic inner bottom of the bag is pretty strong. So if you need to and you feel that putting a little piece of plywood or plastic on the top of the rack is needed, you can do it. But if you maybe even add a strap or two just to hold it in place, you probably won't have too much of a problem. And I doubt very much it's going to wear away. The stuff is pretty durable.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us and asking the question.
Thanks.
Okay, our next question, is actually typed, and this comes from Pete. He asks, what kind of materials do you use for your saddlebags? His concern is that he has a heritage, and a saddlebag maintenance is a lot of work. He's had to buy saggy bags or Pappy's bags, and he's still not satisfied.
Well, we have a proprietary marine-grade vinyl that is used on most of our bags. We have the trade name Saddlehide, and the important thing to understand is it's a marine-grade vinyl. That means it's got a strong fabric back, sewn back, and then it's got a laminate of the plastic vinyl on the top of it. And it's very, very durable. I mean, it even puts thick leather to shame how strong this stuff is. It has very high UV protection. It also handles being abraded really well in case you keep catching it with your foot. Like anything, I mean, if you catch it with the buckle on your boot, you can scratch it, but it's very durable. It's similar to the material we make the seats out of. So if you've ever had a problem with a standard seat and then compared it to how durable one of our seats are in comparison, our material tends to be about 3 times thicker than a standard seat. You'll understand. But the Saddlehide is very, very rough. On some of the other bags that are fabric-based, that is a 600 denier thick nylon polyester mixed cord. It is marine grade as well, and we've seen situations, and I hate to mention it this way, where people have actually fallen down and crashed their bikes and the bags survive very, very well. They take abrasion far better than frankly the riding gear does. So it's very durable stuff.
Excellent. Thanks, Avery.
Mm-hmm.
And our next question comes from Michael. I'm going to go ahead and unmute his mic. Michael,
Hey,
are you there?
welcome, and thanks for joining us.
Yes, I have a question on the Tour Pack trunk organizer. I was just wondered, how is that mounted underneath the lid? What's the mounting?
Well, it can mount 2 ways. In fact, the best way to mount it is we have the ability to mount it to the mounting holes if you have the trunk, the actual trunk rack on the bike. If not, we use a hook and loop style system, which is a lot of people call it Velcro, but Velcro is actually just a brand of hook and loop. And we use a very high temperature resistant 3M hook and loop, because the trunk, inside the trunk, can get pretty hot. So you have to have a high quality, high temperature resistant adhesive on the back of the hook and loop to hold it. And as long as you don't overpack the organizer, it'll stay adhered to the top of the trunk real well. We include some small alcohol swabs that you can kind of clean the surface of the trunk to make sure it'll adhere well, but you can also get it off pretty easy. You can kind of warm it up with a hairdryer and get it off if you ever need to. It just takes a little bit of patience because it does stick pretty well. But believe it or not, that hook and loop material holds it on pretty well.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
And our next question is from Bob. Bob, are you there?
Hello.
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 Hey, Bob,
I'm here.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Kyle. How you doing?
Good.
Good. I actually had a seat question for Avery. You were talking about your seats that use the gel in them. Actually, it's a concept I'm familiar with. I'm actually a paraplegic for going on 23 years. And was a wheelchair user, so I'm familiar with skin integrity and all that. But long story short, I've talked to reps from some of the competitors in the seat business and those that don't use gel, and they have expressed concerns of why they don't use gel, saying that it retains heat and, for lack of a better term, sorry any ladies on there, that'll give you a hot butt, and also that if the bike is parked in the sun, that the gel will really absorb the heat more. Have you had any issues with that, complaints of it, or are these manufacturers blowing smoke to sell their seats better than yours?
Well, many years ago when people started using gel in seats, as I mentioned earlier, they didn't use it wisely. And gel isn't as heavy of a heat sink as people claim that it is. But if you don't build the seat right, you can create a seat where the gel can retain heat. Okay. Now, we're very aware of that. So what we do is as we've changed the gel over years, we've changed the formula and the actual color, believe it or not, of the gel. When you see one of our gels, you'll see it's almost a milky green, and there's an intentional reason for that. But the design of the cover is important, so we use a very high UV resistant saddle hide or leather. Okay. In fact, I need to point it out, the thing that gets hot on a seat is the cover. The cover is what it gets hot, and then the foam and the gel, depending upon how it's configured, will retain or shed the heat differently. So a seat with a fiberglass pan will keep its heat 5% longer than a plastic pan will. Gotcha. But they'll all eventually lose their heat. So we also use a specialized headliner, and then we actually attach another fabric material right to the top of the gel, and that minimizes the heat retention. In fact, it's negligible, the difference between a standard foam-based seat and a foam and gel seat. In fact, one of the things that I mentioned to people is when we got very much involved a few years ago with heated seats, we initially thought that we could put the heating elements into the foam and do it below the gel, and we discovered that you can't. That the gel actually works as a heat barrier better than the foam does. So we actually had to put it on top, right below the headliner level. So the cover design, the cover material, and the headliner stuff, before you even get to the foam and the gel, makes a bigger difference on how the seat retains heat than the material itself, the gel or the foam.
Okay, super. Yeah, because I've never used gel before. When I was in a wheelchair, I actually had one of the liquid polymer cushions that was like super expensive and high tech. But one last question: as far as your seats and dimensionally, do they pretty much maintain stock seat height of what you'd be used to, in place of the OEM seat?
As a general rule, most of our seats are a little lower.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, as a general rule. Now, we have some seats in certain applications where it might be higher. And one of the things that'll be different is you might have a seat that actually has either the same or slightly higher seat height, and that might be because we've changed the pitch angle, because a real common thing that the manufacturers do, especially our friends from either ocean, they tend to pitch the seats too far forward, to be blunt. So
right.
we level those seats off very often, but then we take great pains to develop sloped sides of the nose. So even though you might actually have a higher seat height, you are able to touch the ground better because of the shape of the seat. Because most people don't realize it's how wide the seat is, or how your legs get splayed that keep you from touching the ground well, not
Very
just
true.
the height of the seat.
Very true. Okay, if I have any more questions, I'll contact you directly. I want to jump off and let someone else get in here. So thanks very much for your help.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Good night.
Okay, our next caller is James. James, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, welcome to the webinar, James. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, James.
Great, thanks. I'm just curious about the Versamount under-seat yoke and harness system. Is it supposed to be used only when you travel to a destination and then removed, or if you're going to stay somewhere a day or two, is it okay to leave it in place and then use it and take it off and so on?
Hey, Avery, let me jump in on that one if you don't mind.
Sure.
So to answer your question there, my roommate Jerry has a V-Star 1300 that has the VR series luggage on it with the Versamount. It has not been removed since we did that video almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He uses it for everything. Even when that seat bag is not in place, he sometimes just carries those straps with him in his saddlebags and uses those to tie over the top of the Versamount. If he's got, say, a 12-pack of soda, quote unquote, or something like that, he is bringing home from the store. So the Versamount, once it's in place, can stay there for as long as you want to leave it.
Okay, so it's not going to affect the paint of the fender or nothing like that.
No, it's got a padded side on it, and it's probably not a bad idea. If you think it's a little tight, you can always just get a layer of foam from the Home Depot or the Lowe's or something, just to add some additional protection. In fact, this allows me to bring up a point, and you'll see this with our Adventure Trek and our Adventure Tour seats, and you'll see it more with other seats that we'll bring out in the future, where we're incorporating luggage attachment points right to the seats. On the Adventure seats, we actually have flaps that come up, and there's D-rings integrated into the seat, and those flaps that come up actually become protectors then for like the bungee cord hooks or anything like that. And we have developed systems now that will be coming out in the very near future that are actually rubberized hooks that will catch on the edge of the seat and allow you to strap attachment points on, because some people just frankly don't have a rack or anything on their bike, but how do they take some stuff home from the grocery store or whatnot? Oh, he's got a picture up there on the screen. So you're going to see more of that from us in other applications. We're doing some things to make them a little bit more attractive. The adventure guys, they like a utilitarian look, and something like that is really cool because, for them, function creates a style, but we're coming up with some things for the cruiser guys so they maintain that classic look and still will have some function.
Well, great. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay. Our next question comes from Rhonda, and it's written. She wanted to know, do you have wheeled carts for larger bags? And to clarify, she means the fold-up ones.
What was the question again?
Do you have wheeled carts for larger bags? And she's talking about the fold-up ones.
Oh, something.
I think she's talking about, the fold-up it's almost like a hand truck, but it's a small square that then unfolds and has wheels on it.
She says she has the BR 3400.
Yeah, she might have. We actually don't have something like that right now. Of course, now she just told me that, so I'm going to think about it. But you know, we do have roller bags that have wheels incorporated in them, just like the luggage you run through the airport. But that might be something I'll look into. That would be kind of a cool thing that no matter what kind of luggage you have, you could add some wheels to it.
You know, that BR bag has backpack straps that make it a little bit easier to, once you get it off the bike, to move it around. It is a fairly large bag. I used one last weekend at Laguna Seca, but it was pretty handy to just snap it off the bike and put on the backpack straps and walk into the hotel and check in, and keeping your hands free. So just a different alternative, but we can look into the cart also.
She added that it's heavy for a woman to backpack. Laugh out loud.
Oh.
Well, we've got to help Rhonda, and we'll think about it.
Awesome.
Ron, did you have your helmet? Did you put your helmet in VR?
No, I just had clothes in there, but it'll fit.
Yeah, I know. I was just curious if you put that nice new helmet of yours in there.
I think she's actually raising her hand to go live. Hold on one moment.
You did.
Rhonda, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Rhonda,
I put everything in that bag. I put my laptop, my helmet, everything, and I can get it on and off the bike fine, but when I have to carry it very far, I'm banging up my legs and tripping over it and stuff, and it'd just be really nice if there was some kind of cart you could hold up and put it on.
Well,
You know, we have the capability, Avery, with our factory that we might be able to create some sort of universal cart that can work for some of the other luggage too.
you know, some of the stuff that Rob and Dave are working on for that other product line, I might be able to use some of that stuff to come up with. See, I need to, we'll figure out something that'll be kind of small so you can keep it in one of the pockets and then kind of attach it when you get there. But
That'd be cool.
I think you got us all wound up now, Rhonda. I think we're going to look at that.
Well, good. Can you have it done by September? No.
If Ron quits giving me stuff to do, yeah.
Where are you going in September, Rhonda?
I'm going from Kansas to Kentucky.
All right.
So,
Good ride.
thank you.
Good deal. Thanks, Rhonda, for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Take care.
Okay. Our next question comes from Grant, and he'll be on the line. Grant, are you there? Hi, Grant.
Welcome to the webinar. How you doing?
Pretty good.
What can we do for you tonight, sir?
Yes, I have a 2004 Dana White custom, and I've been looking for saddlebags for my Harley, and it's been hard to do. What do you recommend for a saddlebag for a custom Harley?
What kind of fender stays do you have on the Dyna right now? You know what I mean by the fenders?
I think I have the standard one, where it's all standard in the rear half.
Yeah, we do have support hardware and stuff, I believe, set up for that pattern where some of our teardrops or specific fits will go on there. The new Cruisin' Deluxe bags also will go on there with the universal double jointed support system. But you might want to take a look at the different things, because if your bike is really custom, you might want to select one of the bags that best suits the appearance, and then see if that has the specific fit for an S4 application, so it'll bolt on. But we do have for the Dynas and the Dyna Wide Glides mounting patterns for the saddlebag support, so you'd be able to get saddlebags no problem.
Yeah, and one of the other things you can do just for more of a personal touch is either see us at one of the events or rallies, or call our guy Jerry at the office and send him a few pictures of your bike. So we know exactly what we're talking about because there are a lot of different, custom pieces, and so typically what we try to do is with the customer, send us some pictures of your bike, and then we can kind of visually figure it out and set you up from there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I actually had one more comment about that. Depending upon how his turn signals are set up on almost all of our specific fit and S4 bag applications, we have turn signal relocators if required. But we also have a range of those same saddlebags with LEDs already built into the saddlebag, which will give you turn signal, running light, and brake lamp functions that you can wire into the bike, and it's got a quick release plug, so when you take it off, it comes off clean. So if he's got some unique things going on with his turn signals, frankly, if anybody has anything unique going on with their turn signals, you can either get the saddlebags with the LEDs already in them, or there are kits that you can obtain to put those LED lights in any saddlebag.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay. Our next question is written, and it comes from Greg. He says he's looking at taking his road liner on longer trips with his wife. He already has the Corbin Fleet Liner saddlebags, and he's considering the FTB 3500 or the BR 3400. Any recommendations for week-long trips?
Well, they're both pretty good bags. Well, what's interesting about the new FTB is it's got a kind of a extra saddle bag that goes on the top of the bag. It's a combo bag, so it gives you some really neat storage variations. Like when I look at that bag, I always think rain suits and things like that. I want to get at fast. But the BR 3400 is such a unique bag with a giant list of features. It's got a built-in backrest, and we mentioned earlier the laptop sleeve and all the other things. Integrated rain cover bag. It's pretty hard to go wrong with either one. I'd probably lean towards the BR a little bit if it was me.
And it also gives you options too, if you to mount to the seat, where the FTB bag is going to need it's not as universal, I don't think, as the BR bag. The thing with the BR bag, like Rhonda, our previous caller, is there's so many pockets and little nooks and crannies, and that you could really, as you heard from that last call, you can really make it a heavy bag by putting almost overstuffing it. But that's kind of the beauty of it, is you get a lot of stuff in there. One of the cool things actually though about the FTB bag is we switched it up for the rain cover on that one, if you happen to be in that type of climate where you need a rain cover, and it's actually a bright yellow high-vis rain cover. So it has a little bit of safety in mind in low visibility conditions. But they're both great bags, and you can't go wrong with either one.
He said thank you, and that he has a Sissy Bar, but the BR was what he was leaning towards, and he always needs a rain cover in Michigan.
I'm from the Midwest. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Fantastic.
Great. Our next question comes from Alan, and he asks, he's got a 2008 Ural Patrol sidecar rig. What is the cost send in a 2-up seat and have it modified with Saddlemen gel? The cost to send, I think, is what he means.
Oh, a gel upgrade? Ron, you or Jerry would know that off the top of your head.
Yeah, and
it's pretty reasonable.
You know what? I actually have to pull up a picture of the of the Ural and see how big that seat is, because it's not a typical seat that we do. But depending on how crazy you get with the cover and the embroidery and the stitching, and like I said, if it's an install of gel in the driver, and I don't know if it has a 2-up seat or a passenger section, but probably anywhere between $150 and $300 from just a simple installation of the gel, or if you wanted some foam work, gel, and a recover with custom work on it, probably closer to 300.
Awesome. Thanks, Ron.
Okay.
Great. Our next question comes from Larry. He says, I have a 1700 Roadstar with luggage rack and purchased Saddlemen Desperado trunks. Having problems mounting it, and I need some suggestions. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get him on the line, actually.
Yeah, that would be a really good one to
Right.
find out what the issue there is.
Larry, are you there?
Yes.
Hey, welcome, Larry.
How are you doing today? Hello.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Yeah, Larry, we're here.
Hi, Larry.
Okay.
There from you.
Yes, I just purchased the Desperado. I got the 3400 BR, and I also purchased the Desperado trunk for everyday use. And I have the Mustang seat and a luggage rack on the back, and it's a 2008 Roadstar Silverado. And I mounted it on the luggage rack and used the Sissy Bar strap, but I'm having problems anchoring it so it won't sort of stay pretty, secure on the bike.
Is it just a Sissy Bar, or is it a Sissy Bar with a rack?
Sissy Bar with a rack.
And are you having a problem with the tie-down straps keeping it snug?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Now, when you use them, are you using it just one pair, or are you using 4? Sometimes on some of the bigger bags, you might have to add a pair of straps.
Okay. It only came with 2 straps. And
you could probably just give our customer service folks a call. We could send you out another pair of straps.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, if the bag is really big, we've seen that a couple of times, and it's not that big of a deal for us to help you out with a couple straps.
Okay. Very good. I'll call tomorrow.
And we can chat with you more when you call in too.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for attending, and thanks for the call.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, our next question comes from Jason, and he asks, what are the benefits of the removable saddlebags as opposed to just getting the liners?
Yeah, that was the removable saddlebags and the liner.
It says, what are the benefits of the removable saddlebags as opposed to just getting the liners?
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Probably it's appearance. Some guys might just want to have their bikes clean, kind of lean and mean with no saddlebag on. That's one advantage to it.
Another advantage that I've run into personally is if you've got removable saddlebags on the bike, a lot of times it's really a pain in the ass to get those saddlebags on and off the bike when they're loaded. So being able to have a liner inside the saddlebag and allows you just to reach in, grab the liner, and go, then you're really not having to struggle with getting those bags on and off the bike when they're loaded. If you then want to remove the saddlebags for the clean look like Avery's talking about, dismounting and mounting of empty bags is extremely simple as compared to mounting and dismounting a loaded set.
And for cleaning the bike too.
Great. Our next question comes from Dale. He asks, the large Sissy Bar bags, how do you handle rain or waterproofing?
Well, almost all of our bags, with almost no exceptions, come with a rain cover. So the general construction of the bag tends to be fairly element-proof, but it is possible to get some moisture in through a zipper here or there, which is why they come with a rain cover. And most of the rain covers, on like a BR bag and stuff like that, are tethered. So that means when it comes out of the top, it's also secured at the top, and then at the base of the cover, it has kind of a cord that can cinch it with a barrel cord lock. And like on the FTB bags, it comes completely out and then goes over the bag without a tether on the top. And one of the great things about that is it allows you, if you have, say, your jacket or something, bungee cord to the top of it, that rain cover goes completely over your jacket and the bag. So the bags themselves have some built-in waterproofing, but almost all of them come with an additional rain cover with the bag.
Great. And our next caller can come on the line. Bill, are you there? Bill?
I am here.
Hi.
Hey, Bill, welcome to Luggage. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, and a couple things with the bags on the back on my luggage rack. I have a piece of plywood cut to fit them. Works great when I'm doing my trips, and also with the saddlebags, sometimes you put saddlebags under your seat, sometimes you put them over. If they're over, it's easier just to grab your saddlebags and go into the hotel, motel. But if they're under, the bags would work great. Thanks.
Fantastic. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for the
Thanks
tip.
for providing that explanation to the end users out there. We really appreciate it.
You guys are great. I
Thank you.
enjoy getting emails from you. Totally. And I have bought stuff from you.
Carissa's in charge of all those
That's
emails.
even better.
Yeah, those are my emails. Yes.
Turn.
Bill, you just made my day. Okay.
Well, guess what? You are a good person.
Good job, Carissa.
And all the people at Cruiser Customizing are good people.
Thank you very much for your sentiments there. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we consider them not just business associates, but they're friends.
Can you guys even hear us?
Goes like, hey,
Yes,
Jerry.
yes,
you're there.
Jerry.
Oh, no. Right at the end.
Right at the
Oh, I
end.
have another question. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, this comes from Michael. He says he currently has a Harley-Davidson Signature Series seat, and he wanted to replace it with one of the Saddlemen seats with a backrest. Will I have to remove the current backrest locking system, or will your backrest fit in that unit?
Which bike does he have?
Oh, he said a Harley-Davidson, but let's see here.
We need to know which model.
Fist seat. Oh, FLSTC.
Oh, Softail. Yeah, right now we don't have a seat that'll take that or use that mounting system. In about a year we probably will, but right now he'll just have to buy a Saddlemen seat that already has the mounting system in it.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you, Avery.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, we want to thank Saddlemen for attending, and they're all over the road. We got Ron in Utah. We've got the other guys up there in Sturgis, and Avery's down there in Southern California. Saddlemen's an awesome organization about passionate riders with solutions to both seat and luggage issues that we have out there, trying to help us get the best ride possible. So thank you guys for everything that you do. Thanks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. For all of those who are still on the line there, remember SDL, Saddle24. Use your coupon code in order to get those free waterproof packs from Saddlemen with any order of any Saddlemen product. Hey, Ron, Jerry, Avery, anybody have anything to add before we sign off tonight?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for filling in, and we've got the staff and everybody headed to Sturgis, and enjoy talking to the customers and learning from you guys. So we hope to keep doing this in the future. Thank you to Kyle and Carissa for all their hard work, and Jerry and Avery for filling in while I was driving. But also all the staff at Cruiser Customizing. We really do appreciate it.
Awesome.
And just before we go, I just wanted to clarify on the promotion. The order just has to be over $99, and you can get up to 3 of these water packs for free. In addition, you can also get a $30 gift certificate if your order exceeds $199. So get to it, people.
Awesome, awesome. All right, thanks everybody. You guys enjoy Sturgis, and we hope to see some good pictures and videos from the event.
And they also wanted to say to stop saying Sturgis because some of them can't go and they're jealous. It was just a comment. Thanks, Carl.
Well, check out Saddlemen on Facebook, and you'll get to see those pictures.
Fantastic. All right, guys, you guys be safe out there. Have a good night.
Thanks, Kyle. We'll go riding soon.
Sounds good, man.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
Hello.
Just went off. Just went off.